Okay, we're here today with Mehdi, who was born in Afghanistan, and this is a great honor to have a purebred and blooded Afghani man in my apartment. The first time it's ever happened to appreciate and to tell us about some of the items which I have collected over here over the years, mainly from Mr. Nasrudi's Afghani shop.
How amazing! This is incredible.
So tell us what you see and what you'd like to tell us about.
I think what you have here, it's just like being back home. That's how I feel. And some of the little bits and pieces or little details, like we were talking about this fabric hanging.
Could you just point that out to us?
Yes, it's right here. This fabric hanging and the ceiling. It's so Afghan because they like to decorate not only the walls but also the doors, the ceiling, and the windows. I think that is so Afghan. Of course, you have bits and pieces from other cultures, the Indian, which is close to Afghanistan.
Which pieces were you pointing out?
I'm talking about this, about the Afghan pieces, the way they have decorated. Not only that, what's really fascinating, you have all these these pieces are so indigenous in Afghanistan. They love that kind of decoration, that kind of very unique. And also the one at the head of the door here, opening here, this is so Afghan. And the color are so unique to Afghanistan. Very vivid, primary colors. Geometry is, of course, is a major element in a design in that part of the world, in the entire Middle East, including Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. The predominant, you probably noticed that there are no figures in Islamic design, human figure or animal figures. So geometry, I mean, they have pretty much perfected.
I'd like to point out these little bands over here. If you happen to notice, Mr. Nasrudi is pointing out as tent bands.
Yes. What happens when they build their tent, it has to be very quickly. And of course there are functional tents and there are decorative tents. The decorative tents are mostly, they hang around for a week or 2 weeks. So they prepare, it shows sign of prosperity because it's really beyond just functional space that they can...
Would that be these bands over here, Mehdi, and the one on top of it?
Both of them, yes, both of them. As you can see, what's really quite interesting, these bands, the geometry in those bands are so close to that one, which is also a head over an opening or over the door. What is really interesting, after years of studying design and architecture, I realized it wasn't just the geometry or the pattern or the material. It also insulated the room. It made the room warmer during the winter. And also it provided some visual effect. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to trace these lines of patterns. It was like a game for us. We used to draw that with our fingers on the dirt, because we didn't have tablets and iPads and iPods, I guess. But it was fun. It was such an amazing... I mean, this is the first time I come to a place in America that I really see truly that I feel that I'm in Afghan.
Oh, this is so great!
It's amazing. I mean, everything. I mean, you have literally covered the entire wall.
This piece up over here.
It comes with
How about the camel bags over there?
Yes, this camel bag. It's what they usually use for traveling. Like you have a backpack now, or you have a shoulder bag. This is really the traditional way how they carried their belongings. For instance, if they went to caravanserai, they would pack everything. Some of these are quite big. The pouches on both sides, and they put their food, their clothes, their shoes, their turbans, or whatever, and then they thread through these. You can see these little eyelets. They thread rope and then tie it and then put it on a donkey or a camel and to travel with it.
Anything to say about the rug here, Mehdi? This particular...
Well, I'm not sure. It looks like Afghan rug, but it could also be... I don't know how old it is. When did you...
I have it about 20 years.
20 years.
I didn't get it from Mr. Nasrudi. I got it from another Afghan shop on Bleecker Street.
Okay. What happened with most of these rugs, especially the last 30 years, it really evolved because a lot of Afghans, because of the war, they moved into Pakistan, neighboring country, and also they took the trades with them. the trade of carpet and rug making. And as a result of that, you see influence from Pakistan and India in the making of the pattern. But these, I think these are called elephant's footprint.
Right.
I think they're called elephant footprint. I'm not sure.
I've seen them described like that. Similar, actually, not these so much, but other ones on a similar rug. I've heard them called the elephant footprint. Rug. Yeah.
But as you can see, it's the borders are very symmetrical. But there's always, if you look very closely, there are some variations, and that's part of the design that they want to maintain. They don't want to make it pure, and the reason behind that is really, to some respect, it's a religious belief that the only being in the world or in the universe that is flawless is God.
Oh, very interesting.
So what they try to do is to whatever they make, they try to make it look perfect, but it's really not perfect.
Beautiful.
Intentionally, they even put some variations somewhere that you might look through here.
Well, I can see the fact that these lines are not, it's a curved line over here. It's not a straight line.
Exactly.
But I am very, very touched that you feel this is the first place you've been into in America that you really feel like you're in an Afghani back home.
Elliot, I wish I'd known you in the 70s that you came to Kabul. I wish you could come to Kabul to show you around and really enjoy the hippie life.
I know, you're the first person that really understands that.
And I really understand, because that was, I think, one of my joy when I came to the States. I really took the whole concept of hippiedom, or whatever you call it, and I grew my hair long, used to wear those long blue jean pants. I just accepted so fast. I don't know, I guess in the 70s it was easy. And you have some beautiful drums and yeah, this. We have a larger version of this, similar to this. I don't know where this is from. It's a drum. They play with a hand.
Right.
But they have the big ones. Women used to play with it, and it has these little things that make that really unique noise as they play their music. Very good. Very nice.
These are Persian, by the way. These hanging. These are my lovelies. This wonderful.
Oh, the light fixture, the lamp. Yes, that's very Persian. Very Persian. No question about it.
Let me just see what that looks like when it's illuminated. It used to be a candle, but I put an electric. Oh, actually, it's hard to see.
I like the sense of eclecticism, because it really goes with the hippie's life. You know, it's not just one culture. It's that nomadic culture. Then you sort of embellish it with these beautiful objects. I mean, even look at these objects, or the Buddha's head and all that. Or that's quite interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah. What is this?
Oh, that's for yoga.
Oh, this is for yoga. Okay.
That's a yoga thing. Yeah, that's a Bambara mask from I think I'm not sure if it's Mali or but it looks like something right out of Star Wars, doesn't it?
It does.
You don't have to have much. They didn't need much of an imagination. They could just go back to the traditional to get those things.
Yes. But anyway, thanks for inviting me.
You're very welcome.
Love this.
Oh, I want to show you this last thing over here. You're talking about over here.
Okay, that I'm trying to remember what that is. Sometimes they have these decorative elements that they put around the kid's neck.
You're talking about this one?
This one that's hanging.
This one right over here?
Wrong, yeah.
Was it for a holiday maybe, or an institution?
Holidays, yes. It's sort of special days that they used to put around their
Right.
And sometimes, of course, they put these around their animals. They decorate their animals like donkeys and horses, for instance. Horses are revered in that culture, nomadic culture, because that's really the mode of transportation. They move them around, and of course in Afghanistan, horses, are used for this famous buzkashi. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's fantastic.
Joe, thank you very much for bringing Mehdi over here this afternoon. We have you to thank. Folks, this is a special interview that we've been brought to you by the Masters Institute of Art here on Upper West Side of Manhattan, high above the Hudson River. And we want to ask you all to tune in for our next feature. Of course, we'd like to remind you to take a look at Joe Interviews the Buddha, our first production, which is now being available to be seen on YouTube. That would be Joe Katanik interviews the Buddha. Oh, excuse me. That would be Joe interviews the Buddha. So, check in with us. We'll have more features coming along.